My name is Austin Serck. I'm a senior search consultant. I'm on the engineering team and I've been here for a little over 3 years. So when I first started, I definitely was one of those people that wanted to work as much as possible so that way I could make as much money as possible. So I'd be here, 8, 9 o'clock at night and trying to just put in those extra hours. I'd work on weekends, everything like that. And, from the get-go, again, it was a grind, but once I got my feet under myself, I was able to essentially create my own schedule. It was more beneficial that way. I had come from a job where I was traveling on the road, a week to 2 weeks at a time and away from my fiance at the time and now wife. And, it just gave me the flexibility to, have a job that paid well financially, and then created that added benefit of being able to be home with my wife now. It definitely has opened my eyes to, how blessed I am to have a job like this. Being in a recruitment world, we see all the people that are looking for jobs or out of jobs, and, it's very rare to find something like GPAC where you have such a flexible schedule, yet you can make leaps and bounds financially more than almost any other job out there. When I was first looking for a job after I graduated college, I was looking in banking, finance, everything along those lines. And, the pay is nowhere near what I make here. And I wouldn't have the financial freedom. I wouldn't be moving into my first house with my wife, and we wouldn't be able to do all the things that we do together without GPAC. So I think that is just the biggest thing personally for me is I get to spend more time with my family. I get to create my own schedule, and the financial freedom is just nothing you can find anywhere else. What makes it meaningful for me is the amount of people that I get to help. A lot of people have the preconceived notion that recruiters are just there to make the quick buck and everything. In a sense, we are financially motivated, but at the same time, we really want to make sure that we're helping place professionals with a company that's going to provide them with a better opportunity. At the end of the day, I don't want to put somebody where they're going to be miserable or they're going to be unhappy going into work. I want them to be happy. I want them to have a good work-life balance. I want them to like who they're working with and the projects they're working on. Because if they don't, they're probably not going to last there very long, and they're going to be looking again. My client's going to be unhappy. They're going to be unhappy, and my reputation goes down as a recruiter. But the thing that I wish a lot of people would know is that we're not out here trying to make a quick buck. We really are trying to do our due diligence to find the right fit and, help a company out, help a person out, and, obviously in turn that helps us out as recruiters. But it's a win-win-win situation for everybody involved if we do our jobs correctly. And that's something that's tough for a lot of hiring authorities to get by because they've had so many negative experiences with recruiters that, just want to make a quick buck and then get out. But we're here for the long run. We really want to make that relationship last, and we really want to help them grow as a company. So we really do, again, our due diligence to find them the right person that makes sense. I've had a lot of people sit with me over the years that have been interviewing for the job. They just want to see what it's like in the day of the life of a recruiter here at GPAC. I think the biggest thing I would tell them is get ready to work, right? You can't come into this job just wanting to, work 20, 30 hours a week, and sometimes even 40. Sometimes it's going to be a requirement that you have to work over 40 hours a week, whether it's, there's a debrief on the weekend or, there's a candidate that you just have to get a hold of on a Saturday morning. It's things like that. But once you become successful and you have placements and, have those repeat clients and everything along those lines, then you can start making your own schedule and it can be more flexible more fluid, and then you can kind of have that solid work-life balance that everybody is looking for in every industry and every job ever. In my experience as a 3-year recruiter, having this work-life balance, you're just not going to find it anywhere else with the years of experience that I have. Coming from the job that I was at previously, I would be working sometimes 80 hours a week, whether I'd be on the road or, trying to assist full-time sales in selling, the product that we were working on. And, now if I'm making placements, if I have my send outs, I can work, 25, 30 hours a week and just, have that flexibility and, just be kind of laid back. But, at the same time, if you work too little of hours, you're going to fall behind again. And, so you have to find that balance, that in between center to where, you're not working yourself to death, but you're not, just kind of sitting back and not doing anything, right? The things that I appreciate most is the investment into the tools, whether it's LinkedIn, the job postings, Zoom info, all the different avenues that we can utilize in order to find people with the right criteria or right background in order to help us more successfully and efficiently fill our open positions. They really do a lot in that regard, and then along with the equipment that they provide for you, in terms of computers or whatever, and then just the overall team camaraderie. I've met a lot of people here that I talk to on a daily basis that I consider friends and colleagues, and it's tough to find that in the world because you can go to jobs and people are toxic or whatever have you, and it's just a tough work environment where people just don't talk at all. Here at GPAC we're kind of required to talk. That's our thing, and that's kind of what I'm most appreciative about is just those connections that I built over time, and those friendships, because those will last quite a while, if not a lifetime. And in a sense, GPAC is a competitive environment because we have other recruiters that recruit in the same industry as us, right? But outside of that, we have other recruitment firms that are recruiting in the same industry all across the country. So, in that sense, it is competitive, right? You got to be on your game, you got to have the drive and the grind in order to be successful. But at the same time, everybody here at GPAC is going to be willing to help you. And, they're going to be willing to answer your questions and tell you what to look for, what not to look for, what to work on, what not to work on. And, it's kind of a preconceived notion in recruitment that it's just very cutthroat. And I don't believe that to be true, because in my experience, everybody that I've worked with here has been extremely helpful, and they're, if I succeed as a recruiter, most likely I'm going to be able to find somebody for one of their job orders, and that's going to help them out too. So it's, again, a win-win situation if you can build up everybody here as recruiters, help them become more experienced, more successful, and then you can work together in order to fill job orders, to find candidates, to find more job orders, and eventually fill those job orders.